Good Morning Mississippi. Sponsored in high definition exclusively by Handyman House Techs. Free estimates on all home repairs and remodeling.
You come into our schools, you're going to be dead, and it's going to be fast.
President Trump addressing those who want to inflict harm, delivering tough talk on school shootings, his promise to take action, and what proposals he's now backing.
Plus, tense moments at a middle school in Gulfport as calls come in about possible gunshots. Officers swarm the campus.
Today brings showers for some, not for all. Your rainfall forecast.
But first, breaking overnight, parents of Biloxi High students calling police worried about a threatening message on Snapchat.
That snap saying in part, all BHS students prepare to be my wrath tomorrow, and continued to threaten to carry out a shooting at a school. Biloxi police, though, tell us after investigating they discovered the snap was not about Biloxi High School, but directed at a school more than 1,200 miles away in Belen, New Mexico. That's about 20 minutes south of Albuquerque. Authorities there have arrested a 16-year-old student in connection with the threatening message. Police say the student claims he had no intention of shooting up the school and only made the threat to, quote, see what kind of response he would get. Now back here home on the coast, 4 teens are now facing charges related to threats made against South Mississippi schools. A 15-year-old from Harrison Central High School is facing a felony charge for reportedly posting a threatening message on Instagram. 2 Ocean Springs 9th graders were arrested after the Sheriff's Department says they made a threat against their high school. And a 15-year-old student at Stone High School is facing a charge of cyber stalking. That teen is accused of using a fake profile to post a threatening message Thursday. The DA's office still considering whether to charge him as an adult.
It's a similar story across Mississippi and other parts of the country right now. Students making threats to their schools following the attack in Parkland, Florida last week. Now, here you can see video of 3 juveniles being taken out of Topeka High in Lawrence County this week. Sheriff's officials believe the teens could be responsible for a number of threats made at the school in the last few days. The chief executive officer of Canopy Children's Solutions says these spikes in threats can occur as children and teens who feel lonely or bullied become inspired to inflict the same pain they feel.
Those who have taken violent acts will proclaim, I am going to get back at all of these people who have rejected me, and I'll show them. I'll have the last word here. And it comes out of a place of hurt and rejection and a sense of being disconnected for what they were made for in a relationship.
Dr. Damon says he finds children will be straightforward with you as long as you are straightforward with them. He says to note any changes in mood or behavior in a child and always keep an open line of communication.
This morning, Gulfport's police chief is praising the quick work of his officers and the faculty and staff at North Gulfport Middle School following a call about gunshots.
Jonathan Brannon joins us live from the school with a breakdown of what happens next and the chief's message to the community.
Yeah, that's right. We're entering the second day now here at North Gulfport Middle where there's an increased presence of police officers here on the campus. You can actually see just over this way a police cruiser just pulled up to sit at the entrance of North Gulfport Middle School. Now, this, according to the chief, this should not alarm parents. This should actually give parents a sense of security because of their investigations that they've found that there were no credible threats that were made over the past several days. Now, this all began Sunday night, or 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, whenever the North Gulfport Middle School Facebook page posted that there had been a threat, that someone was threatening to bring a gun to school, the police chief just instantly went into investigation mode and found that there was no credibility to that threat. Another police cruiser just pulled up on campus just now. And then the police presence was on campus yesterday. While they were here, there was a bit of a report of an intruder that was kind of around the campus. The police chief then investigated that, found that there was nothing there, and then in the middle of that investigation found that some students had reported hearing gunshots. So the school went into lockdown at that moment, and the police chief investigated that and found that there was nothing to those, and that he also praised the quick actions of the teachers and the students, the administration here, and his police officers. I want you to hear what he had to say during a press conference about the event yesterday.
I can speak firsthand on this because I, with one of my captains, went about the business of clearing these classrooms and entering barricaded classrooms. I saw these children. They were truly scared. This staff they did great. And so if they perceived they heard something, then they heard something. Fortunately, we were able to determine nothing catastrophic happened.
So as you can hear, the chief said that all protocols were followed. He said everything went exactly as it should have gone, and he also encouraged anyone, any students, teachers, to mention, if they notice something out of the norm, say something to an administrator, say something to the police about it, just in case, because you never know. I'm Jonathan Brandon, live in Gulfport for WLOX News Now. Back to you.
Happening now, MDOT facing a potential $25 million cut to its budget. The commissioner taking to Twitter to talk about how much that loss would hurt our state. Doug Walker joins us live with more on Tom King's message.
Well, it's a little bit of a battle up in the state capitol between MDOT, the Mississippi Department of Transportation, and the state Senate and Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves. Now, last week, the Senate passed Bill 3046, a bill pushed by Lieutenant Governor Reeves called the Bridge Act. And basically that bill would redirect some $1 billion in money to the Mississippi Department of Transportation over the next 5 years. But hold on. Tom King, the Southern District Commissioner, doesn't see it that way. In fact, he says it cuts the MDOT budget by $25 million this year alone, and that's going to hurt a lot of things. In fact, the commissioner was so concerned about Bill 3046, he went on Twitter yesterday to talk about it. Listen to what he had to say.
MDOT was not consulted about the bill. You've got 300 pages of a bill that deals with transportation. If they take $25 million out of our budget, it's going to cut our litter fund, it's going to cut the visitor center, it's going to cut intermodal, ports, airports, bike trails, pedestrian walkways. All of these will be affected.
Now, as in every story, there are two sides to any story, and sometimes the truth lies in between. Commissioner King says the state hasn't seen a gasoline tax increase in almost 30 years. Since 1986, remains at 18.5 cents per gallon. He said one is desperately needed to improve the infrastructure and take care of what we already have. However, some coast lawmakers, some lawmakers across the state, says MDOT is frivolous in spending their money. They spend money on things that don't need to be spent on, such as promotions and logo pencils and logo cups. They say that money ought to be spent on roads and not on logos. So again, the truth obviously lies somewhere in between. Now, House Bill or Senate Bill 3046 is now in the House, will be debated. It remains to be seen what exactly comes out of it, but obviously it's a situation we'll continue to follow closely because it certainly has to do with our roads and bridges here in South Mississippi and indeed across the rest of the state. Reporting live on Highway 49 in Gulfport, Doug Walker for Good Morning Mississippi.
All right, let's check in with Wesley now for a look at your Friday forecast before you step outside.
Right now, the sun is coming up. It's peeking over the horizon and greeting us, hopefully, to bring nice things for us today. But unfortunately, the rain chances are going up, so I'm not sure how long the sun will last. Upper 60s right now in Gulfport, visibility at 7. You can see pretty clearly along the Bay St. Louis Bridge right now, temperature there in the lower 70s. However, perhaps a little fog over into Jackson County. The live view from the MDOT traffic cam shows I-10 where it meets Highway 63. You can notice a little fog in that area near Escatawpa. And that's what our visibility map shows, the worst fog over there. Again, today we're talking higher rain chances. We've got your forecast coming up.
All righty, thank you, Wesley. Well, time now is 6:39. Ahead on Good Morning Mississippi, fierce flames engulf a huge apartment complex.
Why fire officials say the flames were able to spread so quickly. It's 6.
Now, WLOX First Alert Weather with meteorologist Wesley Williams.
Waking up to fog on Friday? Well, maybe not everybody, but it does appear that parts of Jackson County showing a little fog on our Margaritaville Resort Tower cam from Biloxi this morning. If you do have any fog, it will likely clear within the next 2 hours, and it looks like for the rest of the day, of course, spring-like warmth, but also slightly higher rain chances. So as you head out the door today, don't forget your umbrella. You might wind up needing it by the day's end. Temperatures near 70 this morning. First Alert radar shows a lot of rain off to our west and a few showers trying to perk up off the Gulf this morning. The Gulf showers are hitting Louisiana, not Mississippi, But we'll be keeping an eye because it looks like you might have that potential today for some rain. Now look at Futurecast closely, and I want you to focus on where you see the most yellow, orange, and red. In the morning hours, it's off to our west. At lunchtime today, still mainly off to our west, but if you're in Pearl River or Hancock County, you might notice some downpours from time to time. In the afternoon, still does not look like there's much going on rain-wise for George and Jackson County, but Pearl River and Stone County look to be wetter heading into the afternoon. Now, by this evening, some of those rain showers may begin to drift toward the rest of the areas east of Highway 49. And keep in mind, on Saturday, there is going to be the potential not just for thunderstorms, but also for strong to severe thunderstorms anywhere in this green area on Saturday. So we have a level 1 risk on a scale of 1 up to 5 for severe weather Saturday. And then for Sunday, we're also going to see much rainier conditions as a cold front tries to move into the area. That could also allow for one more round of strong to severe storms on Sunday. And those are the type that cause storm damage, obviously, but thankfully only a very low level 1 threat. And then the rain chances come to an end heading into basically Tuesday. We might still have some lingering rain showers on Monday according to that 7-day forecast, but by Tuesday, not as wet.
Happening overnight, first responders and the mayor of Lake Station, Indiana, going door to door, checking on homeowners who stayed in their homes despite rising floodwaters. Their homes now surrounded by water.
I make sure that those who didn't evacuate or are still here are doing okay. And you guys are okay, he said. If you need anything, just give us a call.
Getting them food and any kind of necessities they need.
More than 60 families have been rescued after not evacuating before those waters got too high to escape. The flooding nightmare getting worse as rivers swollen by heavy rain and melting snow continue to rise in the Midwest. This new video shows the aerial view of the rising water.
Underway this morning, an investigation into a massive fire at a California apartment complex. Take a look at this video from Pico Rivera. Flames engulfing several buildings, destroying at least 50 apartment units and damaging another 100. Fire officials say the flames appear to have started in a vacant room. The H-shaped building was connected by hallways. We've learned the fire was running through the attic, and that's how it spread so quickly. At least 3 people were injured. No word on the extent of their injuries. Coming up, President Trump vowing to push Congress on gun law changes. His ideas from some new options up next at 6:45.
Good morning, Mississippi. It is 6:47, 64 degrees in Biloxi. This is a live look at I-10 and Cedar Lake Road. Traffic moving along just fine as you head out to work or school. No problems to report.
President Trump is promising to take action to end mass shootings.
The president says he plans to push several proposals and believes arming teachers and coaches would stop more massacres.
We have to harden our schools, not soften them up. A gun-free zone to a killer or somebody that wants to be a killer, that's like going in for the ice cream. That's like, here I am, take me.
President Trump said gun-free zones are appealing to criminals, and he suggests violence in video games and movies are partly responsible for shaping young minds.
The president also promoted the idea of increasing the age limit from 18 to 21 to purchase semi-automatic rifles.
Now, WLOX First Alert Weather with meteorologist Wesley Williams.
Welcome back, everybody. Taking a look at the First Alert radar, you can see some rain showers that are affecting areas near Lake Pontchartrain and appear to be moving, actually falling apart as they cross over the I-12 there towards Slidell. That's right on top of the radar. That's where the Slidell radar is located, so it could be looking kind of funny. We'll get a better look at those showers, I guess, as they move farther away from the actual radar dome located there in Slidell. As we take a look at the rest of the radar, though, don't see any other rain showers over South Mississippi at the moment. But by the end of your Friday, this is what the latest model information is showing. Perhaps most of the rain west of Highway 49. That's what you're looking at there. Not as much rain today east of 49 as west. Along 49, about up to a ½ inch of rainfall today for areas like Wiggins, Saucier, and Gulfport. And then around an inch of rainfall for areas like Waveland, Diamond Head, Picayune, and Poplarville. So y'all can get some downpours from time to time today. That means it's a good idea to keep your umbrella nearby with the rain chance around 50%. That means not everyone going to get rain. Some of us could still stay dry, but it always helps to keep your umbrella, your rain jacket handy just in case one of those showers finds you. And by the way, that map that shows that west-east split is definitely not a guarantee. Sometimes models struggle when dealing with little pop-up showers. So yes, in Pascagoula, in Lucedale, you too can catch a downpour today too. Just be prepared. Have your umbrella just in case. Best timing looks like that's going to be in the afternoon during the warmest part of the day. And then we have more rain over the weekend. You'll notice those lines kind of bumping up there on Sunday quite a bit, and then a little bit more around Monday into Tuesday. Then they kind of level off for the second half of next week. So that's when we will stop getting more rain in the area. Will be after Tuesday or so. But for the next 4 days, we are going to pick up around 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. The rainiest day will likely be Sunday as the temperatures fall.
Next on Good Morning Mississippi, quick thinking from teachers, students, and police as a frightening scene unfolds at a middle school in Gulfport.
The police chief crediting everyone's work during this false alarm.
Let's pay attention to what our kids are saying. Y'all, there's guns out there, and we know that. If we know that, let's help do our own part and make it safer.
Powerful words from Gulfport's police chief as parents hold hands, united as one in prayer. This following a potential threat at North Gulfport Middle School Thursday that turned out to be a false alarm. Jonathan Brannon joins us live now with the police department's plan for this morning as your children head to school.
Yeah, that's right. The chief trying to ease some concerns, but also spreading that word that if students or teachers see anything out of the norm, to speak up. This is the second day now that the Gulfport Police Department is having an increased presence on the campus of North Gulfport Middle School. This coming after 2 nights ago there was a threat to the school that was posted, or the school posted about the threat on Facebook, and that threat was investigated immediately by the police department. The police department found that it was unmerited, and then they had an increased presence on the campus yesterday just to be precautious, just to be safe. And while they were here, they investigated a report of an intruder around the campus. While they were investigating that report, they investigated another report of some students claiming they heard gunshots. And fortunately, they did find that there was no merit behind those, no basis behind those threats or those reports. So, but you can see on campus here, if you look just over here to one of the entrances, you can see that one of the police cruiser is already here, kind of stationed here. And the chief is hoping that this will bring a sense of security to the students and parents. Let them know that they are here, they are on campus, they're having a presence here to make sure that that this campus does stay safe. And now Chief Papania yesterday in his press conference did say that he was glad that the investigations turned out the way they did with false alarms, and listen to what he had to say at the press conference.
It was a dry run, and thank God for that. And my heart goes out to these kids. That's a lot to carry, a whole lot to carry for a child and an educator. We send them to safe places to learn, and that's what we got to continue to have.
So again, Chief Papania encouraging the students and teachers to speak up if they see anything. I'm going to be out here on campus this morning. I'm Jonathan Brannon live in Gulfport for WLOX News Now. Back to you.
A man accused of murdering an infant in Jackson County still waking up behind bars this morning. A judge formally charged Michael Harris Thursday in the death of 7-month-old Tanner Cowart. The judge also denying him bond. The baby died Wednesday at USA Medical Center in Mobile. Investigators say Harris was at home with Tanner on Birch Avenue and Gulf Park Estates last week while the child's mother took another child to school. The mother, Tiffany Cowart, told investigators when she came back home she found Tanner unresponsive and called 911. No word yet on Harris's next court appearance.
Trying a different approach, Coast lawmakers coming up with a new, shorter proposal, hoping it will get passenger rail service rolling through South Mississippi quicker. You're looking at video from 2 years ago this month when several coast cities hosted festive gatherings as Amtrak officials toured the coast. In a letter to Governor Phil Bryant, the new plan calls for Amtrak service to be added from New Orleans to Mobile with stops in Bay St. Louis, Gulfport, Biloxi, and Pascagoula. This is different from the original proposal that called for extending the service to Jacksonville, Florida. Southern Rail Commission officials say the shorter route has a better chance of becoming reality sooner with cooperation from CSX.
Much of the track between Mobile and New Orleans already has positive train control, which has been in the news a lot lately. It's signaled correctly. It's in great physical condition. And they had indicated to us that this would be a much more preferable option for them as well.
The latest train idea proposes spending $19.7 million in BP settlement money to match federal funds for service to be restored on the coast. Happening later this morning, dozens of Coast High School students head to the CB base in Gulfport. We turn to Doug Walker to tell us why.
Well, a little mixture of education and the military here at the CB base starting a little bit later on this morning. Some 100 students are going to be visiting the CB base. That includes 50 from Long Beach High School and 50 from Gulfport High School. And one of the stops is going to be right here, the solar panels. Hundreds and hundreds of solar panels here on the CB base. In conjunction with Mississippi Power, this is a 4-megawatt plant, and it actually powers some of the CB base. It actually powers some off-base operations as well. So it's a magnificent solar panel farm here on the CB base, and that's some of the things the students are going to see. Joining me now, Brian Lamar with the CB base. So they see this, they're going to go to the Emergency Operations Center too. What are they going to see there?
At the Emergency Operations Center, they're going to see what goes into crisis communications, responding to crisis, whether that be a tornado, hurricane, force protection, elevation, things like that.
Now, one of the more important things they're also going to learn, there'll be a resume writing class as well.
Yeah, that's one of the stops. We're going to take a workshop, take time for a workshop, and do resume writing skills for the students.
Now, one thing that's probably a good thing that's going to come out of this, they're going to see how the military operates, the precision which the military operates. It might interest some of these students in a military career.
Well, a lot of the students are coming here with a mindset of looking for science, technology, and engineering and mathematics related job skills and job trades, and so that's what we're going to show them all day long.
All right, Brian Lamar with the CB base, thank you very much for joining us. So again, these students arriving here on the base a little bit later on this morning. They'll be here for several hours, and we'll let you know what happens a little bit later on today, both on air and online. Reporting live on the CB base in Gulfport, Doug Walker for Good Morning Mississippi.
Thank you, Doug. Temperatures right now are in the 60s and 70s across the area, so it is definitely a warm start to your Friday. In fact, if we could take the graphics full and show you some of the temperatures, again, 70 degrees right now in Diamond Head, 71 in Bay St. Louis, 70 currently in Biloxi. And that first alert radar shows a little rain over South Louisiana, but none for us right now. Scattered storms are on tap today for some of us, not for everybody though, so keep your umbrella nearby just in case you find one of them. Your best rain chance over the next 7 days, Sunday. What are you planning this weekend? If you got something to do on Sunday, you better plan for wet weather.
Not good soccer weather at all.
Or anything else. Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll have more local news and weather coming your way in about 20 minutes. Stay tuned for Good Morning America.